Rick here, chef on a budget. I'm back. Sorry it's been so long. I've got a paying job that I've actually got to do as well, so I've been a little bit busy. But I thought tonight I'd do something a little special. I'm going to make a laksa for you tonight. I'll do a chicken laksa, chicken and veg. It's a little bit complex, but we'll see how everyone feels about it. Okay, so I'll go through the ingredients for the paste. Okay, so for the paste, I have half a dozen coriander roots with a bit of stem. I have 1 big piece of ginger, half a dozen hot red chilies, 1 onion, some fresh galangal, about 5 or 6 smallish cloves of garlic. I have some palm sugar. I have about 10 candle nuts. If you don't have candle nuts, you can use macadamias, but you will need to go to an Asian grocery store to get a fair bit of this stuff. We have some roasted shrimp paste, which we will re-roast. And I'll also add some powdered turmeric to this. I have half a dozen kaffir lime leaves here, but they won't go in the paste. We'll put them in the broth a little bit later. Okay, so we just blend this up all into a paste. So everything that was on the bench is now in my food processor. So what I'm going to do now is I've got my shrimp paste here. That's the packet there, okay? Belcan shrimp paste. Now, as I said, don't be put off by the smell of this stuff because it really is pretty horrific smell. It's made from fermented prawns and it's pretty on the nose. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap this just in a little bit of alfoil, and I'm going to, in a hot pan, I'm going to pop this in and roast it in the pan for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes until you can really smell it, and then that's going to go into our paste with some turmeric. So, all right, I'll get that on now. Okay, so as you can see, that's in the fry pan. I hope I'm not wobbling the camera too much. And literally nothing else in the pan. Okay, I've got some chicken stock here warming up. You can use powdered stock, or you can go back and look at my chicken stock recipe and make your own and put it in the freezer. And I've also got some tofu here that I've cut into cubes and deep fried. Tofu puffs are nicer, but I didn't have any tofu puffs, so they will go into the broth a little bit later on. Okay, so I'll just roast that off now, and we'll put that in with the rest of the stuff of the paste, grind it up, and we'll be on our way. So I've got my paste here ready to blend. I'm just going to add the shrimp paste there. You can see the steam coming off it. Smells horrific, but trust me, it's a vital ingredient in a laksa rempa or a laksa paste. Okay, I'm going to add my palm sugar now. I'm going to add 2 small cubes of palm sugar. They come, well, the brand I've bought comes in pre-cubed little pieces like that. So I'm just going to give them a quick chop. I've added a couple of decent teaspoons of turmeric. I'll just find my lid to my food processor and I'll blend it up. Okay, so just blend that till it's all combined and fairly smooth. Doesn't have to be beautifully smooth. Just make sure everything's crushed up and combined. Now we're going to move on to actually making the broth. Okay, so my pan's heated up now. I'm going to scrape my paste into my saucepan. And we're going to fry off the laksa paste. Oh, and it smells absolutely amazing. Make sure your heat's not too high. You don't want to burn the paste, but you do want to cook out all those raw ingredients, especially the candle nuts, because candle nuts, from what I'm told, are a bit toxic in their raw state. I don't know how bad, so don't quote me on it. Okay, so after that's had a few minutes. I've got about 1.5 litres of chicken stock here. I'm going to add 3/4 of it so I can see what my laksa looks like. Okay, I'll add the rest of that because there was a fair bit of paste. Now this recipe should feed about 4 people. Okay, to that, 1 tin of coconut milk, at this stage I'm going to add my kaffir lime leaves. A good tip, if you've got anyone down the coastal area that grows them, I do this with bay leaves too, although they are readily available where I live. When you see someone that's got a tree, just ask them if you can take a heap, bring them home, give them a wash, and just pop them in a bag in the freezer. I'm just going to give this a quick taste. I'm also going to add now my fried tofu because I want that to try and absorb some of that liquid, soak it up like a sponge and soften up because it is quite firm. It's a hard tofu. As I said, you can buy these little bits of tofu called tofu puffs, and they're a lot more porous inside. They're not dense like the hard tofu, and they are much better for laksa. Okay, I'm just going to let that simmer away for a while and let the flavours develop. Okay, so I've just had that on a bit of a boil, really, not really a simmer, for probably just 10 minutes. You can see the tofu has softened right up, which will be lovely. The colour's changed a bit, it's got a little bit darker. I've adjusted the seasoning. I'll just taste it again. I've just put a little bit of salt in mine because I don't have any fish sauce. Traditionally, your salty component would be fish sauce. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to add to that a couple of chopped up chicken breasts. I'll poach them in that. They're not going to take long to cook. All right, now traditionally, your green veg component would be like bok choy, choy sum. Now I actually didn't plan to make this tonight, believe it or not. I had all of this in my cupboard and my fridge. But I do have some broccolini and some green beans because I didn't actually have any Asian veg. But you know what? You can add whatever you like. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add my noodles. Okay, so I'm just breaking up some fresh Hoikin noodles. This is all going to be cooked about the same time. I don't have any rice stick noodles, but I do have some Japanese udon noodles. So just so that I've got 2 different types of noodles in my laksa, I'm just going to add them as well. So definitely not traditional, but I promise you it will taste great. Okay, we'll give that 5 minutes to cook everything through, and we'll serve it up. So now to finish, we have some bean shoots. Some coriander leaves. chopped spring onions or shallots. Okay, and I also have some crispy fried onions. I have some fresh basil leaves because I don't have Thai basil. The basil is optional. I just like it. So there we have it, about $4.50 to $5 a portion, I don't know exactly. Chicken laksa. See you next time. Chef on a budget.